Hey good people, if you want to get the exotic Icebreaker Sniper in Destiny 2, you have to hope it drops from good old RNG from the end of the Vesper's host dungeon. Now is it worth it? I don't freaking know cause I don't have it, so let me know in the comments. Now to get this dungeon done, first go to the last city and talk to Spider to pick up the quest. Then start it up from the Europa map. When you start, go forward and then to the right. Here you'll notice an area with containers where you're getting jumped in a room by fallen vandals. Kill enough of them and eventually one will have a yellow symbol over his head. Shmurder him and he'll drop the scanner buff. You pick this up and it'll let you see keypads that you need to shoot. You can tell which ones by using the buff and running up to the keypads around the room and on the ceiling. You can see them as hexagons on the minimap. When you get close enough to one, if it turns white from yellow on the minimap, it needs to be shot. To shoot them, you either have to deposit the scanner buff first so that you can pick up the red operator buff that another enemy will have, or a teammate picks up the red operator buff and shoots only the 4 keypads that the scanner holder points out. If you shoot the wrong one, you dead. And every buff you pick up has a timer, just so you know. If that timer runs out, you dead. So after use, make sure you deposit it at these stations that you're gonna see all throughout the dungeon. When you get all keypads shot, it's time to move on. Everyone gets in the elevator and then follows the path and drops down into the big room in the back right. After that, go through a vent with mines you might want to shoot first and follow the path to the first encounter. Here there will be 3 color-coded paths to take around the room. You need to get a reactor core from each path and bring it back to this main room. You'll deposit them here in the middle front. To do this, start up the party by rebooting the system in the middle front. When you do, endless shanks, dregs, and vandals will come at you and a brick drops in the middle. Kill the brick to get the scanner enemy to show up. Pick it up and look for some flashing red lights to show you which doors are open. You can do these rooms in any order. Follow the path until you come to a room with keypads. If you clear enemies on the way there, it'll definitely be easier on the way back. Don't forget to deposit your scanner and pick it back up if you need to refresh the timer. But the scanner will point out what keypads to shoot. And nearby will be an enemy who drops the operator buff used to shoot the 4 correct pads that the scanner called out. Make sure after you scan or shoot, deposit those buffs so that they'll be in the next room and you don't die. You should see a core show up now. That core will have a timer while it's on the floor before it disappears. Grab it and take it back to the main room like I showed you. Just know, you'll gather stacks of radiation when holding the core. If this number reaches 10, you dead. So drop it temporarily somewhere safe, or someone can grab it from you if needed. When you get back to the main room, there will be another brig. You have to kill it so you can deposit. Once you do, repeat this until you've done it 3 times, and the last brig will be big as hell. After you grab the loot, make your way to the door maze. Here, you need to deposit 5 cores into 5 boxes labeled 1 to 5 in order from 1 to 5. You have to go the correct way to find captains that drop a core when killed. When moving through, make sure to close every door behind y'all that y'all open so that you can have enough power reserves to make it through. There will be ads and the next boss trying to delete you while you're at it. Watch out for the integration attack that it does. If it has 5 seconds of line of sight on you, you dead. It also throws exploding balls at you, so keep your distance. I'll show you the path now. because it's crazy to explain. So follow us. After that, it's encounter 2. Here you need to shoot the correct 4 numbers out of these keypads by the entrance. To do that, start the encounter and kill ads. You'll see the operator buff early. Just pick it up and deposit it for later. Now look for big invisible enemies. When you melt them, a machine priest shows up. When you get rid of him, you'll be teleported to a room with the boss. Make sure to clear out ads, exploding shanks first, and then move up to cover closer to the boss. A shank with a blue suppressor buff will come from the boss's direction. Kill it where it's safe to pick up the buff and use it against the boss by hitting your grenade button within about 5 meters from the boss and then shooting the blue decoy that it makes. This will split the boss into smaller servitors. Look for 2 of these servitors to have weird circle lights on their faces. Remember the number of each of these servitors in the name above its head. It's important. Then drop down to the main room from behind where the boss was. You're gonna repeat this all again until you have 4 numbers. Now this time, when you drop into the main room, the operator shoots those 4 numbers in any order. After that, a shank with suppressor will show up in the middle. Use that buff on the boss and it'll split into smaller parts again. Now it's damage time. You want supers and heavies that do AoE damage like Nova Bomb, Titan Behemoth heavy attacks, Gathering Storm, Tether, Anarchy, Thunderlord, Dragon's Breath, and grenade launchers, especially Waveframe grenade launchers. If you don't kill the boss, run it back until you do. Now there's a nice jumping puzzle for you. It's straightforward, but here's a quick look at the path. Also make sure you avoid the yellow lightning. The floor will glow before it strikes. Now the third encounter puts it all together. You shoot the boss to start and drop into the circular hatch on the floor when it opens. In this room, start clearing ads and soon you'll see 2 copies of the boss running around immune. At this time, there should be an enemy with a suppressor buff. Grab this and suppress those 2 puppet enemies to drop their shields and kill them. Be extra careful because those shields will give you radiation when they touch you, so keep some distance. When the first 2 die, the scavenger buff spawns, and when another 2 get folded, the operator pops up. Now someone grabs the scanner and uses the radar to find the 1 column that has a blue number on it in the middle of the room that turns white when you go near it on the mini-map. There's only 1 that's correct out of the 4. The number on that column is called out to the operator, and now they look for 4 keypads with that same number on them on the left and right and around the center columns and the middle ceiling of the room. They're all over. Shoot those 4 pads. Make sure to deposit all buffs before finding the door with red flashing lights and heading down. You'll be in a room with a servitor and dregs if you went the right way. You can clear or just run by. But know that if you lose any buff, it respawns in this room right here. Follow the path until you get to a room with the boss in it. Here, someone grabs the operator buff and shoots the 4 keypads around the room in no order and without having to scan them. Once those are shot, deposit. While this is going on, someone can grab suppressor and clear out any radiation copies that are following y'all around and then deposit it. Next, someone grabs scanner and has to scan each of the 4 copies of the boss to see which one turns white on the map. When you find the sus one, call it out. You all melt that copy fast. Make sure to deposit the scanner, and then anyone grabs the core that drops, and you all go into the pod and deposit it before that timer for sector purge runs out on the bottom left. If it does, y'all wipe. The doors will open, and now go through the lower level and through some trip mines to another room to repeat this process again to fully drop the boss's shield. Here's a look at where the keypads are for each room. In the second room you don't have to deposit buffs before you place the core. Now that the shield has dropped, go back the way you came down to the first room, usually taking the doors on the second level, and any doors that lead upstairs will get you there. You'll see a portal that will teleport you to the main room, where you'll stand in this elevator area to start damage phase. You can farm for heavy ammo before this step right here, by dropping down the left or right holes in the main room if needed. When in damage phase, the boss will be in the middle platform. There will be copies slicing you up close and sniping at you from the platforms near the boss, and lightning will always be striking. If you're in the air, lightning won't hit you. So what we did was put a well down on this tank near the middle to elevate it off the ground for damage. Titans with Thunder Crash and Curus of the Fallen Star, Behemoth Titans, Celestial Nighthawk Golden Guns, Gathering Storm, or Song of Flame Supers are good, and Leviathan's Breath, Xenophage, Grand Overture, and Bait and Switch or Vorpal Weapon Grenade Launchers do work. Healing turrets are great here as well, don't forget them. Do damage to the boss until a shiny copy shows up in the middle. Kill it and it drops a core. Take it and deposit on the left to extend your damage phase after you come back out from where you put the core. Don't forget you can kill copies to make this easier. I suggest at least killing the snipers. And do damage until the boss is immune. Then drop down that circle like the beginning of the encounter and repeat until you kill the freaking boss. Congrats on that clear, y'all. You definitely earned it. Now, did you get the icebreaker yet? Tell me in the comments, cause like I said, I damn sure didn't. And if this helped you, please share, drop a free like on me, and subscribe for more guides. Thanks y'all, and I'm out.